Honestly, I don't really think you need a tutorial to learn how to vinyl wrap, but if you really don't feel confident enough just to go at it, this should help you a little bit. So what you're going to need is obviously some vinyl wrap. This is CR Style's non-glossy carbon fiber vinyl wrap. Next, you're going to need some sort of cutting tool like a razor, any pair of scissors. You're going to need a hair dryer. I wouldn't call a hair dryer a required part of this tutorial, but it definitely helps. And then we just need some random object. I'm going to be using this little $4 multi-input card reader. I would start with something like this, very simple, flat, sort of one piece. Some curves, but generally just sort of a simple object. So then you should get your vinyl wrap and sort of get a rough idea of how much you're going to need. So once you have a rough idea of about how much vinyl wrap you're going to need to wrap this piece, just add a tiny bit more. You can never really have too much vinyl wrap, but you can most certainly have too little. So keep that in mind. We have our object and we have the vinyl wrap for that object. Make sure the object is clean. Vinyl wrap is pretty forgiving. You can lay it down, peel it back off. If there's dust or dirt under it, you might see a slight bump, but you generally won't notice it. So then just take your vinyl wrap and peel the backing off just like you would. Peel the backing off just like a sticker. Peel it halfway off and start laying it on your object. I like to use the non-sticky part and put that on the object first, and then just sort of line up the rest of it and get the very edge lined up and sort of put on there. It really doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to kind of be on there. So just peel the rest off and slap it on. If can't get these sort of lines out, don't worry, that's where the hairdryer comes in, but you really just kind of want to pull it back and keep and sort of stretch it onto the object. So if you have a corner with lots of wrinkles in it, you want to sort of spread the wrinkles into the middle or the wider parts, the parts that are easier to flatten out. You can figure a way to get all the wrinkles out without the hairdryer and you're golden. If you can't, then this is where the hairdryer comes in. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is take your hairdryer and set it to the hottest setting that you can get it down to. Basically, we're using the hairdryer as a heat gun, so you want it as hot as you can get it. Alright, so what we're going to do with the hairdryer, we're going to sort of heat up the whole area, and you'll feel the vinyl wrap kind of become soft. You don't want to kill it. Once you have all the wrinkles out, you can start cutting around. So I don't really know how other people do this, but this is just sort of how I figured out to do it. Take your razor, and if it's really sharp, this will be much easier. Take your knife and use whatever object you're wrapping as a barrier. So create a little cut in there so you can get to it. Have the knife sort of, the side of the knife resting on whatever you're cutting, and sort of slowly go along that piece and shave off the pieces of the excess vinyl wrap. Alright, after you're done cutting, sort of in the process, you want to keep heating up the vinyl wrap and sort of smoothing it down as you go. Afterwards, you should end up with something like this. Pretty clean. I think it looks pretty good. If this tutorial has taught you anything, it's that you don't need a tutorial for learning how to vinyl wrap. You just need to go and do it. The only way to learn how to vinyl wrap is just by doing it and sort of trial and error and learning. Anyway, if this helped, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.